Picture this. It's the dawn of time, well, at least the dawn of Japan. We're talking way back, around 10,000 BC. Noodles? Not yet. Anime? Not even close. Back then it was all about nomadic hunter-gatherers called the Jomon people. They were like the hipsters of prehistory, rocking pottery, seriously impressive for the time, and hunting giant sloths. Good times. Fast forward a few millennia, and the Yayoi people show up fresh off the boat, literally, from mainland Asia. They brought some cool new gadgets like rice cultivation and bronze and iron tools. It was like upgrading from a flip phone to a smartphone. Suddenly, everyone's farming, settling down, and forming little villages. Now here's where it gets juicy. Enter the Yamato clan, stage left. Think of them as the first family of Japan. They flexed their muscles and their swords to unite a good chunk of the country by the 6th century AD. They were big on Buddhism and Confucianism, which, let's be honest, beat sacrificing things to appease the weather gods. This period also saw the rise of Shinto, Japan's native religion, which is all about respecting nature spirits, kami, and having a healthy fear of earthquakes. Basically, ancient Japan was a melting pot of cultures, religions, and probably some questionable fashion choices. Buckle up because things are about to get epic. We're talking samurai swords and enough political intrigue to make your head spin. It all kicked off around the 12th century with the rise of feudalism. Imagine a giant pyramid scheme with the emperor at the top, mostly for show, powerful shoguns calling the shots, and samurai warriors as the muscle. Samurai weren't just your average sword-wielding badasses, though they were pretty good at that. They lived by a strict code of honor called Bushido, which emphasized loyalty, discipline, and a healthy dose of stoicism. Basically, be brave, be loyal, and don't complain about the lack of air conditioning in your armor. This period was a wild ride of epic battles, shifting alliances, and more than a few betrayals. Think Game of Thrones, but with better-dressed warriors. There were famous showdowns like the Genpei War, where the Minamoto clan triumphed and established the first shogunate, basically taking over the country. But even samurai needed a break from all the fighting. They dabbled in poetry, calligraphy, and the art of the tea ceremony, proving that even the toughest warriors could appreciate the finer things in life. Of course, if you messed up the tea ceremony, you might lose a limb, but hey, details. After centuries of samurai shenanigans, Japan decided it was time for a break. Enter the Edo period, from 1603 to 1868, a time of peace, prosperity, and some seriously strict isolationist policies. Think of it as Japan hitting the do not disturb button on the world. The Tokugawa shogunate took over, moved the capital to Edo, present-day Tokyo, and basically said, no foreigners allowed, but don't think for a second that Japan was bored. This was a golden age for art, culture, and some seriously stylish fashion. Kabuki theater, woodblock prints, hello Hokusai's The Great Wave, and haiku poetry, all flourished. People were rocking elaborate kimonos, sipping green tea, and perfecting the art of bonsai. It was like one big, elegant tea party, with occasional samurai patrols just to keep things interesting. Of course, isolating yourself from the world for over 200 years has its downsides. Japan was late to the Industrial Revolution party, and its technology started lagging behind the West. But hey, at least they had peace, prosperity, and some seriously awesome art. Towards expansionism, setting the stage for some turbulent times ahead. Rising from the ashes. Japan in World War II. The 20th century wasn't kind to Japan, or, let's be honest, anyone else for that matter. Fueled by a desire for resources and a growing sense of nationalism, Japan embarked on a path of military expansionism. They joined World War II on the side of the Axis powers, and well, things didn't go so well. We all know how the story ends: Hiroshima, Nagasaki, and a devastated Japan surrendering to the Allied forces. It was a dark chapter in Japan's history, one that they've spent decades grappling with. But even in the face of unimaginable destruction, there was a glimmer of hope. With the help of the Allied occupation, mainly the United States, Japan underwent a remarkable transformation. They embraced democracy, renounced war, and focused on rebuilding their shattered nation. They channeled their energy into economic growth, technological innovation, and of course, creating some seriously catchy pop music. Bullet trains and vending machines, modern Japan. Fast forward to the present day, and Japan is a far cry from the war-torn nation it once was. It's now the land of bullet trains, quirky vending machines, seriously, they sell everything, and technological marvels that make your head spin. They've got robots serving you coffee, toilets that warm your feet, and more anime than you can shake a katana at. But it's not all about futuristic gadgets and high-tech toilets. Japan has managed to preserve its rich cultural heritage, from ancient temples and traditional tea ceremonies to the delicate art of bonsai and the vibrant world of geishas. It's a country of contrasts, where ancient traditions coexist with cutting-edge technology and where politeness and order are valued above all else. Land of the rising future. So, what does the future hold for Japan? Well, if their track record is anything to go by, it's going to be interesting. They're facing challenges, of course, from an aging population and economic competition to the ever-present threat of natural disasters. But if there's one thing Japan is good at, it's adapting and overcoming. They're investing in robotics, renewable energy, and the next generation of technological innovation. They're also rediscovering the beauty of their own culture, promoting sustainable tourism, and sharing their unique brand of quirky coolness with the world. So buckle up, because the next chapter in Japan's epic story is just beginning.